What's up, guys? Have we got an exciting video today? We're going to be looking at the Dow Jones. We're going to be looking at the silver pump, XRP supposed pump. We're going to look at gold. We're going to also be taking a look at that DXY and why I think it is really ready to take off. Definitely stick around for the whole video. You don't want to miss anything. We're going to be taking a look at a lot of stuff. Also, don't forget we have a free Discord group. There's a link below in the description. Let's get into it. All right, guys, as always, this is not financial advice. This is not trading advice. This is not investment advice. Always do your own due diligence and your own research. Before we begin, I do want to remind you, we do a Ledger Nano S hard wallet giveaway every Sunday. All you have to do to enter to win is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, tick the notification bell down there, and make sure you turn your notifications on. Smash that thumbs up and leave your comment. I'll be picking a random comment from a random video on Sunday. All right, let's take a look at the Dow. So we've talked about this being a bull trap up at the top. We got rejected pretty hard up at the top of this trend line. And if you look at where we're at now, we're actually, I think, getting a pre-market pump. So I'd be watching this 55 EMA around 30,150 range. If we come back up to tag the smaller EMAs up here, the 8, the 13, and the 21, we could be looking at around a $30,500 range. Definitely, or I'm sorry, 30,500 points. Definitely keep an eye on that. I don't believe that the Dow is going to pump hard by the end of the day. I think we're going to continue falling this week, in my opinion. Gold, still looking at this 1736 target, and if that breaks, we'll be looking at the 1647. Silver, this is the hype of the day. Everybody's pumping silver. The area to watch here, guys, is going to be around the 3145. And looking at this as an Adam and Eve, if we take the widest part of it, go up to where we broke out, that gets us around that 3145. That's the area I'd be watching for at least some rejection. If it does get above that and get support on that, it could go crazy high. Definitely keep an eye on that. Now the XRP, if you were going to pump a stock or pump anything, why would you announce it ahead of time and give, you know, they announced it, what, 2 days ago or yesterday, whatever it was, that it was going to start today at 8:30. As of making this video, it's 7:30 a.m. Most likely the people that are talking about that already got in, and they're going to use the people, I don't want to use any rude words, but they're going to use the people that believe that and start buying at 8:30 today to dump into. I believe the dumps already began. One thing I want to point out, could they be exiting? If you look here, 500 million XRP, which is 238, almost $239 million, was unlocked from the escrow at the Ripple or escrow wallet. They done that twice, 12 hours ago, as of making this video. That is almost $500 million with a B dollars. That is, or actually, yeah, almost $500 million. Now, that looks like an exit to me. They will be selling them, in my opinion, and they probably already have. Here was that XRP super pump, which is ridiculous. If you look at what's going on in the GME, GameStop, they're taking advantage of that, and they think, you know, now they're starting to use it. It's kind of a game to get people to buy into pumps that they're going to be dumping. So guys, be careful out there. Careful who you listen to, what you watch. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and I think this XRP is going to hurt a lot of people. All right, so let's look at the monthly close. We had talked about the monthly close. Here's 2017, 2019, and 2021. I do believe that we have topped here. I had put this line here yesterday, said if we could close the monthly above that 36,000, it may be safe, but of course you can see we didn't. That doesn't mean we can't pump back up, guys. As you can see, the following month over here in 2017 or 18, we went up about a little over half the wick over here. We got almost about 75% of the wick after the top. So we could get up into the $38,000 to $40,000 range at some point this month before continuing down. Of course, that's invalid if we break the 42, which I highly doubt. We could even be done here, and I'll show you why. If you guys are interested in trading, check out PrimeXBT, by far my favorite exchange. They don't trade against you. You can use my promo code SAVY50. It'll get you 50% on top of whatever you deposit, up to 1 Bitcoin to use towards your margin. SAVY25 will get you 25% off your fees. You can trade crypto, Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, natural gas, all kinds of stuff from one exchange. You can have multiple trades in. So if you want to make money, whether Bitcoin goes up or down, I suggest trying to learn how to trade. PrimeXBT is a great place to do it. They don't trade against you like all the other exchanges. Look up A-Book and B-Book exchanges and you'll understand. Let's look at the 4 hour. So this is kind of messy here. But we had been watching this triangle. We had our 2 bull traps. You can see the arrows at. Let's zoom in. Is it possible we come up and retest this again? It is. We're going to take a look at that. And I do want to show you something. I'm going to show you an exact target. And I think it's very possible for Bitcoin. We've been talking about the June low. And something is starting to make a lot of sense. We're going to be taking a look at that here in a minute. First, let's take a look at this trend line we had off here. We're getting rejected at it again. We put this here yesterday. Obviously, it took longer to get down here. So now let's move this over. If we break this 3,400 or 34,500 range again, we may be coming up to retest this area. And that would be, put a price label on there depending on when we got up here, somewhere in the $36,000, $37,000 range. Of course, like I said, I do think this Elon pump was just a bull trap. And I do believe it's real possible we continue down from here, guys. We had this target of 29,760, looking at this as a bear flag, which is still possible because if we draw a trend line from the bottom of that bear flag, all we've done is came up and tagged the resistance. So still believe we're most likely headed down to this direction. And as you guys know, we have much lower targets. I've discussed them in the previous videos. If you want to check them out, we're going to discuss some exact targets here in a minute. First, I want to look at the DXY. It is finally breaking out, it does seem, out of this wedge. We've been waiting for this for a very long time. This is the 3-day chart. As you can see, the 2 fractals up here are almost identical. The EMAs are almost in the exact same spot. Everything is almost perfect fractal. As you can see back here when we broke out, this is the 3-day chart. You can see what happened here. Doesn't mean it moons straight up like Bitcoin, but it does look like a year or two rise in the dollar. As you can see, we have broken out the RSI also. Everything is matching up beautifully. And if you look at the fractal in the MACD, the same thing. We are in the same area, guys. Buy the fear. Usually that would talk about Bitcoin, but right now, where's all the fear? In the dollar. And I do believe there will be a rush to the dollar when the markets crash. So be careful. There's no guarantees. It doesn't have to happen, but it definitely looks like it is happening. Here I overlaid the dollar, which is the green chart, over Bitcoin. Every time the dollar has hit this trend line and bottomed, Bitcoin has topped. If we raise up Bitcoin up here, every time the dollar top, Bitcoin bottoms. It does look like Bitcoin is done for now. Now let's take a look at, so this is the chart we've been watching. This is possibly what could happen. 2022 be our next low, this all being a bear market. Now, there is a target that shows we could bottom out a little bit higher than we thought before, but that can change. And I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. As you guys know, looking at this daily chart, once the RSI broke here, we knew the bear market had started. And if we go over to 2019, once the RSI broke in the daily, we knew we were in the bear market. We have broken the RSI on the daily this year. So I do believe it is possible that we could be in a multi-year bear market. Regardless, let's take a look at couple things that make a lot of sense here, and then we'll look at the 2-day, 3-day, and everything else going through that. But if you draw a triangle here in 2017 at the top, and you take a measured move of that and bring it down to where it broke down here, that gets us to right around 31.27. Now let's look at where we bottomed out here. 3,100, around 31.20. That was almost perfect. Now let's go over here to 2019. Let's take a measured move of that triangle, put it to where we broke down over here. That got us to 43.52. We did go lower. Obviously, that was the disease that shall not be named, but that got us to about $3,840. So if we go over and do that exact same thing, before I do that, I want to show you, we could have one more huge wick down that could change this. But again, make sure you're subscribed because we will be keeping up on this. But if we put a triangle to where we're at right now, move this up a little bit, move this in. All right, so we take a measured move of that. And again, this could go down further, guys. Be aware of that. This could definitely go down further and make a lower spot for the triangle. We could go off this week. So, but as of right now, if we do a measured move, and it all depends on exactly where we break down to. So let's say we break down over here in February at some point. That gets us to the 14,276. Now, keep that number in mind, 14,300, let's say, okay? But first, I want to look at each one of these hyped speculative bubble pops in Bitcoin. We had a rising channel. Once we broke out of the rising channel, obviously we had our speculative hype bubble. It came back down. We always came back under the mean, which is the second hump here in the rising channel. Same thing in 2018, and that is around 12,500 on this rising channel. So that leads me to believe we could be in a multi-year bear market, but I am giving you areas where I believe that we could stop and continue up. In the bullish case, in June, if we do hit wave 4, and we'll talk about that in the next chart, but let's look at the 2-day. Same thing in the 2-day. Each time we broke this, definitely knew we were in a bear market. We have not hit it in the 2-day yet, but if we look at the 3-day, we have got a bounce off it. Once we go through the bottom of this, guys, definite confirmation of the bear market, if you ask me. Let's look at the weekly. We talked about this yesterday also. Looking at the weekly, we have not came down to touch it yet. I do believe we may see that this week. We may get our bounce for one more bounce up to get everybody bullish again, to dump into them before continuing down. But I do believe we'll most likely see at least this 14,300 range, and I will explain now. If we look at this Elliott wave structure, 2017 being 1, forming 3 now, this is the bullish case again. I've been talking about a bounce in June for the possible 4th wave. The 0.618 is around 18,400, 18,500, which is the golden pocket zone where most of the times you will get a bounce. But this wave 1 here is around 13.9, so it would make sense for us to get that bounce up here around that 14,000, between 14,300 and 15,000. If it's bullish and we get that one more year up, because everybody thinks it has to be a 4-year cycle. So if that's so, we can probably get our push up to that $49,000 to $50,000 range at the end of the year, if we get that bounce. But again, we could be in a multi-year bear market. And this would be wave 1, 2, 3, 4 would be down here. But remember, if 4 goes below wave 1, where wave 1 stop, it's invalid and we're definitely in a bear market. All right, so let's take a look at the funding rate. Funding rate is starting to favor the bears again. It's looking pretty bearish, guys. Yeah, it's definitely looking bearish. I really think we have popped the bubble at 42,000. I've been talking about that forever. definitely make sure you pay attention through the whole video and you'll understand a lot better instead of making random crazy comments when you don't understand what you're talking about. But anyways, I do appreciate each and every one of you guys. If you guys want to help support the channel, check out my wife's webpage, anchorimage.com. It is quality stuff. She can do lots of stuff. It's not just crypto. There is a crypto section, and she can put anything you want on any of this stuff. Like I said, glass, blankets, face masks, aluminum signs, all kinds of stuff. Thanks a lot, guys. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the CryptoSavvy logo above my head. Smash that like button, leave your comment below, and check out the tutorial videos I got posted up here. Thanks a lot, guys. I'm out.